Joint Chairs, let me go back a little bit because seems to be some concerns that have yet to be addressed fully by this committee, and this is in relation to the meeting that took place between Lucky South 99 and Chairman Altenco. The meeting that happened in the presence of the former Secretary Harry Roque. Mr. Chair, I have clarifications. Maybe go deeper into that. Allow me, Mr. Chair, to further clarify the details that happened in that particular meeting. Mr. Chair, Attorney Roque, magandang umaga po. Yes,
Good morning, Mr. Chair.
Magandang umaga po. You mentioned po in the previous committee hearing that some of the officers or officials of Whirlwind Company and perhaps the Lucky South 99 do not and cannot speak English. Am I correct?
Yung pong pagkakaintindi ko, hindi lang po sa Lucky South, pero sa karamihan po ng mga Pogo. Kasi sila po talaga nagpapatakbo noong electronic casino na binobroadcast sa China. Kaya rin po nagkakaroon nga sila ng mga Pogo hubs para hindi na sila makahulubiyo
yes,
po.
Yes, Mr. Chair. If I may be, if I may request Secretary Roque to just answer this representation with yes or no kasi natanong naman. So yes, I took that as a yes. No? So would you know, Mr. Chair, Secretary Roque, does Cassandra Leong, the representative of Lucky South 99, know, can she speak English and understand English?
Well, ang pagkakakilala ko po kay Cassandra, siya po ay marunong mag-Chinese, nag-aral po sa China, at siya nga po ay translator para dito sa mga Lucky South.
So, pwede po siyang magsalita ng Tagalog or English, no?
Opo.
So, that does mean that Ms. Cassandra Ong can communicate directly with the Chairman Altenco or PAGCOR?
Pwede po.
Pwede. So, ibig sabihin po, hindi na ho kailangan, Mr. Chair, that Cassandra Ong does not necessarily need your assistance to go to PAGCOR and have that meeting in relation to the RERs that they need to pay. Am I correct?
Kailangan po kasi nung mga panahon na yon, ang representante ng Lucky South sa PAGCOR ay si Mr. Dennis Cunanan.
Okay. So let me ask you, Secretary, Mr. Chair, how did you meet Cassandra Ong?
Okay.
And when was this and where was this meeting happen?
Natapos na po yung eleksyon, bumalik na po ako sa pribadong buhay at ako po ay promoting renewable energy projects. Isa po sa pinopromote ko talaga ay yung Sogod Power sa Cebu at kung hindi po ako nagkakamali, na-meet ko po ang isang representative ng kumpanya ni Cassandra Ong sa isang forum ng renewable energy. At linapitan po ako na meron silang interest kasi doon sa forum po yon nanindigan ako na contrary to the position of many individuals, ang renewable energy, ang solar po ay po pwedeng 100% foreign owned.
Okay.
So, yun po yung konteksto na na-meet ko po ang kumpanya ni Cassie Ong.
Yeah, so when did you first discuss with Miss Cassandra Ong about about you going with her to PAGCOR? When and where did this happen?
Sa same month of July na po, no? Kasi ang palaging kausap ko ay isang CEO ng kumpanya ni Cassie Ong na hindi naman po nasa Pilipinas, na lumilipad, umaalis. Mukhang MBA type of person po, kaya nga hindi kami nagtagumpay na makakuha ng investment sa kanila, no? So si Cassie Ong po ay, ang alam ko, empleyado lang talaga ng Whirlwind, no? At bago pa nga nalaman ko na nadispalkohan yung
so,
Lucky
Mr. Chair,
South.
sorry po. Yes. So
mga July lang po. July din po. Same month po of July.
So si Cassie Ong is the Cassandra Ong that you're mentioning.
Opo. Okay. Siya po yun, Mr.
So,
Chair.
when this first meeting, did she, I presume there were subsequent meetings happened, di ba? Because the first time that you met, sabi mo nga, hindi siya connected with the PAGCOR license. Am I correct, no?
Opo, iba po yung representante.
So when did the Cassandra Ong approached you and discussed to you about the POGO and maybe perhaps to accompany her, as you claim you represent the leasing, in this case, Whirlwind Company, when did that happen?
Buwan na rin po ng July. Doon po niya sinangguni sa akin na nalaman lang nila dahil nakatanggap nga sila ng sulat po sa PAGCOR na naniningil ang PAGCOR.
Would you know, Mr. Chair, Secretary, would you know kung saan ito nangyari?
Yung pagmi-meeting po
Yes
namin?
po, yung pag-approach niya po sa inyo?
Oo, humingi po sila ng meeting sa isang restaurant dito po sa Resorts World.
So she specifically requested you to go with her to PAGCOR?
Walang sabi lang po niya, may problema kami. Ang totoo po niya, ng unang sangguni is, pwede bang idemanda si Dennis Cunanan? I'm sorry to have to say this dahil kilala ko rin po si Dennis Cunanan. No? Ang sabi ko, kumuha ka rin ng ibang abogado kasi kakilala ko si Dennis Cunanan, ang mga anak namin magkakaklase from K to 12 at kapitbahay ko pa. So ang sabi ko na lang is, well, humanap kayo ng ibang abogado pero ang solution naman sa problema mo, pwede naman humingi ng rescheduling of payment dyan sa pagkakautang po.
So ang response po nyo dun sa request niya, I presume is sabi mo nga, sumama ho kayo sa kanya no, dun sa meeting na yon. So gusto ko lang po on record, Mr. Chair, what was the exact response that you gave her when she approached you about these problems of hers?
Well, ang pag-contact po niya sa akin is anong gagawin? Kasi na-dispalkohan daw yung kanilang lessee na Lucky South, no? So, ang gusto niya is legal action. Eh, ang sabi ko, hanap po kayo ng ibang abogado kasi kakilala ko po yung rinireklamo ninyo, no? At masama dahil kapitbahay ko pa. So, ang sabi ko, baka matutulungan ko naman kayo na magkaroon ng rescheduling of payment dahil pumapayag naman ng mga gobyerno sa rescheduling of payment, lalo na kung hindi naman talaga consistently masama ang payment record.
So at this time, when you met her and asked you, Mr. Chair, Secretary Roque, of these perhaps legal advices, were you already employed by Whirlwind Company?
Hindi pa po. Kasi po, nag-iinganyo nga po ako sa kanila na mamuhunan po sa mga energy projects. So wala pa po kaming professional relationship. It was more of, I wanted them to invest in an energy project po.
Okay. So, fast forward po tayo na claim nyo naman po at na-narrate nyo na nga po na you confirmed that you were present during that meeting with
Opo.
Chairman Tenco, no?
Opo.
Yeah, okay. So, sino pong tumawag? Who called the Chairman Tenco or PAGCOR to arrange this meeting?
Well, ang sekretary ko po ang nag-arrange ng meeting matapos po na nalaman namin na ang pagre-reschedule ng payment is a board decision.
So your secretary arranged this meeting when you were still not employed by Whirlwind Company?
Well, by that time po, opo, parang accommodation ka lang po sa Whirlwind. At that time po, wala kaming professional relationship other than patuloy ko pong iniinganyo sila na mamuhunan doon sa energy project.
So gusto ko lang pong malinawan dito, Mr. Chair, si Kaskasi Ong approach you, you do not have any legal or professional relationship with her and told you about her problems with Mr. Dennis Cunanan, and you were not employed at that time during this meeting by Whirlwind Company, and yet you extended the effort of contacting PAGCOR to set up that meeting. Am I correct?
Tama po yun, dahil nga po iniinganyo ko sila na mamuhunan sa proyekto. So parang that's a show of good faith po.
Matanong ko lang po, bakit ho nyo nagawa yun?
Dahil gusto ko po talagang magkaroon ng relasyon sa Whirlwind na sila po yung mamuhunan doon sa mga energy projects na pinupush ko.
Okay. Would you confirm this, Chairman Tenco, that the meeting that took place among you was arranged or requested by the Secretary of Attorney Roque?
Magandang umaga po, Congressman Adyong. Yes, on the week prior to July 26, the office of former Secretary Roque got in touch with my office, and they were requesting for a meeting. If it was possible for former Secretary Roque to meet me.
So you confirm.
I confirm.
Yeah, okay, sige.
Congressman.
Secretary, at the time of you and Cassandra's meeting with the Chairman Altenco, alam ko naman on record na sabi dito, but I just want you to confirm, how much was Lucky South's payables to PAGCOR?
Well, ang pagkakaalala ko po, $500,000 po.
And would you know what these payables are for?
Actually, hindi ko po alam kung ano talaga yung nature ng payment. Ang alam ko lang na dispalkuhan, di umano, yung kanilang kliyente na Lucky South, and may demand letter yung PAGCOR na magbayad.
Okay, so so did you tell Cassandra Ong, since sobrang bait nyo naman, in-approach na po kayo, at tinulungan nyo po siyang magkaroon ng meeting with Chairman Tenko, this is even prior to your prior to the hiring ng as legal agent at legal representation ng Whirlwind. Nasabi niyo po ba how would you be able to, for the Lucky Strike to be able to settle these problems with PAGCOR, their problems with PAGCOR?
Well, ang sabi ko po, pwede naman humingi ng rescheduling of payment. Pwede naman nabayaran ng gives yung pagkakautang at pumapayag naman po ang mga korporasyon dyan.
So nasabi din yung po pa, Secretary Roque, that they need to pay these RERs to PAGCOR in order for them to renew their license?
Well, yun nga po ang concern nila kasi nagulat sila na may pagkakautang sila at syempre, pag nagkaroon ng pagkakautang yung kanilang kliyente, pwedeng malagay sa alanganin yung kanilang lisensya.
So how did, Mr. Chairs, how did Lucky South 99 respond to that advice of yours?
Hindi po ako nagbigay ng advice sa Lucky South. Alam na po ni Cassie ang consequences para sa Lucky South kung hindi mababayaran yung utang kasi nag-demand letter po ang PAGCOR. Sinabi na ng PAGCOR na kinakailangan magbayad sila, otherwise magkakaroon ng consequences sa kanilang lisensya. Pero wala po akong communication doon sa Lucky South. So hindi ko po alam kung anong response ng Lucky South.
Yes, okay. So nagbayad din mo sila ultimately, no? Mr.
Na-confirm po.
I'm asking Chairman Tenko. Did they able to pay?
Yes, they were able to pay,
Okay.
Congressman.
Was there any payment scheme happen?
Payment scheme?
Yeah, payment scheme arrangement with between PAGCOR and Lucky South 99?
Actually, there was no payment scheme, Congressman Adjong. But on that same day of the meeting, they made a payment of $203,000 that showed that there was good faith on their end to settle. And then over time, I think matter of another 60 days, they were able to settle all their arrears with PAGCOR, Congressman Adjong. July, so took them about 6 months to pay off all the balance. So we're looking at close to $300,000 that was paid over time.
So there was no payment scheme, but there was already a payment that happened.
Yes, at the same.
Was the arrears paid in full or was it in trans?
It was paid in tranches because on that day, I would like to on that day itself, while we were in a meeting, a payment of $203,000 was made. So the balance was paid over time up to January 2024 already.
Mr. Chair, Secretary Roque, I'm sure you know the nature of why Cassie Ong requested your presence in that meeting. Am I correct? Well, she would not approach you if she wouldn't probably know that you have, you have some, at least your presence is really in need there. Kung sa ordinaryo na tao, hindi naman ho magsasama kung alam na walang impluwensya yung isasama sa opisina. Tama ho ba? So would you know, for example, did Cassandra Ong, I presume, told you about her problems with Mr. Cunanan? And ano po ba yung mga options na nasabi mo sa kanya apart from, say, for example, paying the amount that they need to pay to PAGCOR?
Yung idea po na mag-arrange ng rescheduling para sa mga pagkakautang ay nanggaling sa akin. Dahil ang tanong nga nila is, anong gagawin namin? Dispalkohan kami, pwede bang idemanda itong Dennis Cunanan? Ang sabi ko, humanap kayo ng ibang abogado, hindi ko pwedeng idemanda yan dahil kakilala ko yan. Pero, ang alam ko, pwede namang ayusin yan sa pamamagitan nga na paghihingi po ng rescheduling of payment. So, nanggaling po yung initiative ng rescheduling of payment sa akin na. At kampante naman po ako na papayag naman po ang PAGCOR basta nga lang merong show of good faith, no, na meron talagang intent to pay at ma-explain lang kung bakit sila na-delay sa pagbabayad dahil bago naman silang na-dispalkohan, wala naman silang problema po sa pagbabayad sa PAGCOR.
Okay. Mr. Chair, at Secretary Roque, you confirmed the Attorney Fernandez testimony earlier in the previous meeting that you made the follow-ups with PAGCOR regarding the application of Lucky South 99. Am I correct?
3 beses po, 2 by text, 1 by telephone call, pero yung telephone call ko po, hindi follow-up. It is only a matter of information na nakahanap na ang Lucky South ng abogado para gumawa ng MPTT na requirement po.
Thank you po. Thank you. Sorry po, Secretary. I'm just wondering po, who requested you to make these follow-ups?
Request po ako ni Cassie Ong kasi ang sabi po niya, hindi raw niya makontak si Attorney Jessa, no? At totoo naman po, doon sa mga tawag ko, talagang busy-busy si Attorney Jessa. So once po, para tanungin ko kung ano yung kulang pang mga documentation, kasi nga po, request ako ni Cassie na hindi raw niya makontak. So sabi ko, well, let's see kung makokontak ko naman, baka timing lang yan.
So you're doing this, hired na po kayo as a lawyer of Whirlwind Company?
Opo, nagsimula na po yung kaso kasi 2 weeks after the meeting on July 26, hinire na po niya kami para dun sa ejectment case at ang first task nga po namin is ma-prevent yung execution na inisyu ng Regional Trial Court ng Angeles.
So alam niyo po Mr. Chair, John Chair, Secretary, that these follow-ups are by nature the lacking documents of Lucky South 99 that they need to comply with PAGCOR. This is directly in relation with their application. Apart from paying the RERs, their application as well for a license nung sa newly amended guidelines ng Secretary. So you would know, for example, of the nature of these follow-ups that it pertains also for their application for the IGL license. Am I correct?
Tama po yan kasi ang pinag-aawayan nga po yung possession dun sa lugar na ginagamit for POGO. So concern po si Cassie as the lessor of Lucky South na kung mawawala naman sila dun sa posisyon, wala na rin silang kontrata dun sa POGO. Kasi nga po, sila yung pinapaalis dun sa possession, sa premises na ginagamit para sa POGO po.
So after, sino po ba ang whom do you report this, Secretary? May mga documents ka ba na pinapresent sa kanila that may probably help them to comply ultimately with the request appeal for a license after you have follow-up with the PAGCOR? And you learned about these lacking documents. To whom do you report this po?
Well, Mr. Chair,
Since you are according to you, a lawyer of Whirlwind Company.
Mr. Chair, pinadalan po ako ng listahan ng requirements ni Attorney Jessa at yung Viber mismo sa akin ni Attorney Jessa, finorward ko lang po kay Cassie Ong.
So have you told advise Cassandra Ong that Lucky South 99 must also comply?
Finorward ko lang po yung text as is mismo ni Attorney Jessa because those were the lacking documents, no?
So hindi lang tayo maging abogado as an ordinary person. When you extend something to a person, especially if you know that this is of legal consequence, agree ho kayo doon. Na kasi tinutulungan nyo, kasi you would not help anybody if you don't agree from the very start of the, say for example, of the request or the application. Would that be correct? On a human level perception, would you at least confirm to this representation that you agree and you may as well support the request of Lucky South 99 for their application for the IGL license?
Hindi naman po. Ganito po kasi yan. Yung pumasok kami sa ejectment, may desisyon na, meron ng writ of execution na papaalisin sila. So ang aking tanong, lalaban pa ba tayo sa ejectment Dahil ang issue dyan is, meron ka pa bang kliyente na uupa in the first place? Kung wala nang uupa sa'yo, bakit ka palalaban doon sa ejectment? At in fact, ngayon po, yan ang problema ng Whirlwind, no? Na kapag natalo sila sa possession, bibigay na namin yung problema sa Pogo doon sa may-ari. So, importanteng malaman din po para malaman ko anong strategy na gagawin namin, no? Kung magkakaroon pa sila ng parokyano doon sa paupahan nila. Dahil ulitin ko po ha, nung kinuha nila ako, meron ng writ of execution. So actually, sabi ko, this is actually a 60-40 na matatalo na tayo, no? Na ang aasahan na lang natin, mapiprevent natin yung execution. Pero dahil talo na sila at meron ng writ of execution, ang tanong din is it worth it to fight kung wala ka rin namang kliyente at hindi rin mabibigyan ng lisensya? So, pwede ka na mag-surrender kung ganun po.
Well, I think para sa akin ang pagkakaintindi ko po, no, I'm not refuting your claim, Secretary Roque. You're entitled to your own opinion, but I find it very rather peculiar for a person to extend such assistance if from the very start I do not agree and I do not support such request. So masyado ho kayo mabait, Attorney Roque. Now, you in the previous hearing po, Mr. Chair, Secretary, it was your claim that you were acting as for Whirlwind Company because the Whirlwind Company in this case is the agent or the leasee nung Lucky South 99. Am I correct po, Mr. Chair?
Lessor po sila.
Yes.
ang
sorry.
leasee po ay Lucky South.
Yes.
Opo.
So, tama po. Sorry po. So, you confirm that?
Opo, I confirm that po.
So, did you help either of these corporations prepare a contract of agency?
Hindi po, kasi wala naman akong relasyon sa kanilang, wala po akong relationship doon sa contractual agreement between the lessor and the lessee.
So, if there's no proof that there is a contract of agency, being you as the lawyer, I presume that you are well knowledgeable about law, and as a lawyer to Whirlwind, you would probably ask Whirlwind Company if there is a contract of agency that signed or took place between these two agencies. Would that be rather peculiar for you not to, at least to review if this kind of a relationship between these two entities, considering that you went extended your effort beyond what your call of duty because you have sorry po, you have, gusto ko lang po maintindihan because you even went as further as to arrange a meeting with Lucky South 99 with PAGCOR. Hindi nyo ba hiningi or have you in instance ask for a clear proof and evidence of a contract of agency?
Well, nung punto pong yon, ang alam ko sila ang lessee ng mga cruise. So nakita ko po yung lease contract. Now, sinabi rin nila na nagpapaupa sila dyan nga naman in turn sa Lucky South. So nakita ko rin po yung kontrata nila between Whirlwind and Lucky South. So meron po talagang lease contract in turn between Whirlwind and Lucky South. Yun po ang nakita ko.
Affirmed by you, validated by you, that you were, number one, you were nga an agent, lawyer for Whirlwind Company, no? So whenever you represent...
I was an agent po. I was a lawyer
sorry, yes,
for Whirlwind.
correct me. I'm wrong. I was wrong about that. You're a lawyer of Whirlwind Company. And whenever you represent Whirlwind Company in relation to Lucky South 99, I'm sure part of that arrangement is naturally they will pay you for whatever representation you would make in the advantage or to the advantage of your client. Am I correct?
Well, hinire po nila ako para sa kaso. So, I do not have a general retainers with them. I have a specific agreement to handle the ejectment case, no? Which started in the RTC of Angeles, and then we elevated the case to the Court of Appeals.
So you never asked by Whirlwind Company to do extra services to their client because According to you, you're limited to that particular case?
Yes po. As soon as
So
we
bakit
signed
po?
the client engagement memo, we were limited to handling that ejectment case.
So bakit ho kayo nandoon sa meeting and why did you do some follow-ups?
Well, as I said po, nung time na nag-meeting kami, hindi pa po kami hired officially for any legal engagement. It was more of trying to convince them to invest in the energy projects that I was promoting, Your Honor.
Kailan po kayo, Mr. Joint Secretary, kailan ko pa, may we know kung kailan ho kayo na-hire ng Whirlwind Company?
Well, na-file po namin. I submitted the documents po sa RTC Angeles second week of August.
No, when your legal services was when legal services started with the Whirlwind Company, would you know what specific date was this?
Well, there is a specific date, but I think it is 1 week before we filed the motion in the RTC of Angeles. Because when we found out what had happened, ang first remedy namin is to ask the RTC of Angeles to recall the writ of execution that they had already issued.
I'm sure, Mr. Chair, Secretary, I'm sure you have a document, no? Official document that you are sabi mo nga, you contest the question of Congressman Flores and Congresswoman Beatrix in the previous, kasi there was no client attorney relationship between you and Lucky South 99. So I presume, following that logic of yours and your explanation, you would probably have a document that would testify that you were hired by Whirlwind Company. Would you be so kind enough as to give us a copy of that?
That is covered by attorney-client privilege, Your Honor.
Okay, sige.
However, I would like to add...
Yeah, but since magbait ka naman, Secretary, kasi nag-extend ka ng extra effort, maybe we can also tap that humanity of yours inside you to provide this committee. It is not something that you should be hiding because you're entitled naman to accept any legal arrangement with any companies in any corporation.
It is
Am I
not for
correct?
me. It is not for me, Mr. Chair. It is for the client. But as far as the attorney-client privilege is concerned, that's sacrosanct po in the legal profession. Now,
Yes.
I would like to add po na although it is true that there could be an attorney-client without a written contract and without payment of services, the Supreme Court and the Code of Canons of Professional Responsibility takes the perspective of the client on when the attorney-client relation exists. In Canon 3 of the said rules of the said canons, the attorney-client begins as soon as the client reposes the confidence on an attorney to perform legal services. Now, but according to case law, in the first place, there must be a contract between the client and the attorney. There must be a meeting of the minds. Kaya nga pong sinasabi ko, although I represented an agent of Lucky South, that did not make Lucky South my client. Para rin po yung since mga airlines, merong silang mga handling agencies, pwede kong maging kliyente ng handling agency na hindi ko magiging kliyente yung airline itself, no? So yan po talaga yung nangyari, no? So as I said po, even if it were true that I represented Lucky South, ganun po ang trabaho ng abogado. Kaya lang, why will I say that I represented Lucky South na wala naman po talagang legal representation?
Okay. Balikan ko lang po yung
Last
tanong
two
ko
question, Congressman Jong.
Mr. Chair, maybe may I extend for another 1 minute or two minutes?
Last two
Mr.
questions.
2 questions, okay. Sige. Kala ko 2 minutes na, 2 questions. So, balikan ko lang po, Mr. Chair, sa Secretary. So, roughly, kung marirecall nyo po, kailan po kayo na-hire ulit ng Whirlwind Company? This is a week prior to the filing of your case in,
1 week before po,
When was
prior.
this? When was
This
this?
is the first week already of August.
August of what year?
Of 2023.
2023, okay. So, it's a good thing, Mr. Chair, that you've mentioned about that. At yung sabi mo, yung, kasi dalawa, Mr. Chair, no, sa ating mga kababayan na nakikinig ngayon, mukhang naku-confuse nga sila sa Whirlwind Company and sa Lucky South 99. That's why we are trying to digest further, no? Inquire further kung ano ba talaga itong dalawang entities na ito. These are two different entities because the fact that they've entered into an agreement, it proves that they're two separate entities, no? So I have here, Mr. Chair, and I would like to cite itong lease agreement between, and by the way, may I ask May I ask Secretary Roque, maybe Chairman Tenko, would you know in that meeting who represented whom? I mean, these are two entities, no? Whirlwind Company and South Lucky Nine. Would you know which or either of the two, Secretary Roque and and Cassie Ong, represented whom or what?
Well, Congressman Adjong.
Or are you still also confused at that time because you thought they're still the same, one and the same?
No, first of all, very clear in my mind, and I was in fact conferring with Attorney Jessa earlier. There was no discussion on Whirlwind during that said meeting. And I think more important to note is the fact that Whirlwind has no relationship with PAGCOR because Whirlwind was never given a license, nor Whirlwind had any other reason why PAGCOR will deal with, or Whirlwind will deal with PAGCOR, because for us, Whirlwind does not exist. Because they never had a license, they never applied for a license, they were never issued a license in the previous administration. So, sa amin pong dalawa ni Attorney Fernandez, maliwanag po sa amin, nagpunta si Cassie Ong doon, hindi naman po tungkol sa Whirlwind eh. Nagpunta po si Cassie Ong doon para ipakiusap yung arrears ng Lucky South 99 na currently, during the time, ay isang license holder ng PAGCOR. Dahil nabigyan po sila ng lisensya noong nakarang administrasyon ng PAGCOR, hindi po sa administrasyon ko. So, yun po ang tunay na ipinakikiusap ni Cassandra Cassie Leong at ni Attorney Harry Roque. So, yun po hindi po kami nakukonfuse, Congressman Adjong, sapagkat wala po namang relasyon kami sa Whirlwind eh. At never was there any discussion about Whirlwind during that brief meeting with Attorney Roque and Cassandra Leong together with PAGCOR AVP Jessa Fernandez.
Thank you, Chairman. Secretary Roque, what is your take on that? Kasi mukhang klaro naman ata kay Secretary Tenko that you were there in that meeting and you were with Cassie Ong, who apparently was connected. I guess she's still connected with Lucky South 19. How can you convince us that there has nothing to do, your presence there has nothing to do with Lucky South 99, Mr. Chair? That you were there simply because you are representing Whirlwind Company, whose legal services that you have signed with this company is purely limited to the case that you have filed prior to your being hired by this company. So doon lang ako nagka-confuse. I'll give you, Mr. Chair, I'll give you time, Mr. Chair, to respond to that.
Yes, maraming salamat, Mr. Chair. Nandun po si Cassandra Ong bilang ahente ng Lucky South. Pero gaya ng sinasabi ko, yung pagiging ahente niya does not make her a shareholder or an officer of Lucky South. And since I represented an agent, ang ibig sabihin po, ang kliyente ko yung ahente. Wala po pagkakaiba yan, for instance, dun sa mga ground handler sa airport. Pwede kong maging kliyente yung ground handler, for instance, yung Mia Score. Pero hindi ibig sabihin nyo na palibasa nagbibigay ng serbisyo ang Mia Score sa Cathay, kliyente ko yung Cathay. So I rendered service to an agent of Lucky South, and obviously she was there to make sure that the interests of their principal would be protected dahil nga na-dispalkuhan siya. So the answer is, Cassie Ong was there as an agent. And in fact, in the rules of PAGCOR, kinakailangan magkaroon sila ng representative, an agent who will represent the different licenses with PAGCOR. And it is not a requirement that the agent becomes a shareholder or an officer. Okay. In fact, after that meeting was when Sandra Ong became a representative of Lucky Star, and if the good chairman will recall, kasi sabi ko, naalala ko, sabi niya, naku yan, Dennis Cunanan, palitan niyo yan. Hindi mabuting tao yan, no? Palitan mo na yan. At after that meeting, naging representative po si Cassie Ong ng Lucky South. But during the meeting po, on record na representative was still Dennis Cunanan, which Mr. Cunanang disputed the last time. Sabi niya, a month before, hindi na raw siya ang representative. Pero officially, in the records of PAGCOR, I am 100% sure po, as of the date that we met, it was still Dennis Cunanan. Kaya nga po kinakailangang tulungan si Sandra Ong, kasi pwedeng hindi siya pansinin eh. Dahil, bakit ka papansinin ng PAGCOR, hindi ka naman representative ng licensee nila. Yun lang po, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And this happened despite the fact that you were hired by Wilwin Company, not on any way connected with Lucky South 99. Mr.
Opo.
Chair, yes, no, that is a manifestation. I do not require any response to that, Secretary po. Mr. Chair, I have here the lease agreement between Wilwin Company, the lessor, and the leasee, in this case, Lucky South 99, Outsourcing Incorporated. This was signed, and the fictivity of the term of the lease, commenced on November 5, 2019, up to November 4, 2022. Now, the representative of Wilwin Company, meaning the lessor, was, I don't know if she's still connected with the Wilwin Company, Miss Stephanie B. Mascareñas. And the lessee, in this case, Lucky South 99 Outsourcing Incorporated, is Miss Catherine Cassandra L. Ong. So this is the same person and individual na nandoon po sa meeting nung nangyari po yung pag-uusap na yon with PAGCOR Chairman Altenco. Now, what is peculiar, Mr. Chair, is prior to the expiration, the term of the lease, which is November 4, 2022, and this is the first, there was a subsequent lease that took place. No? Same two parties, Wilwin Corporation and Lucky South 99 Outsourcing Incorporated, and the lease agreement, the term of the lease, would commence on January 1, 2021 up to January 1, 2024. So ibig sabihin po, Mr. Chair, nag-overlap, hindi pa po sila nag-expire ang term of, nag-lease uli sila. Ganun ho sila ka-confident sa bawat isa. Yung trust and confidence is too high that even prior to the expiration of their lease, they already signed a subsequent lease agreement again. What is so peculiar and so maybe perhaps that attracts this committee's attention is that Miss Catherine Cassandra L. Ong, who represented Lucky South 99 in the first lease agreement contract, is now representing Wilwin Corporation. And the one that signed this contract represented Lucky South 99 Outsourcing Incorporated, is now, this time, Miss Ronilyn Baterna. So makikita nyo po, kaya po kami nako-confuse that these are two entities, corporations, and yet the person running these companies are one and the same. So andito po, Mr. Chair, nung unang lease, Cassandra Ong, sa lessor, Wilwin Company, Stephen Mascareñas, Wilwin Company, sub-lessor siya, Catherine Cassandra Ong, leasee, Lucky South 99, tapos sa pangalawang kontrata, nagpalit. Si Miss Sandra Ong naman ngayon, ang lessor. At ang leasee is Miss Ronilyn Baterna, Mr. Chair. And also, it is quite, parang nakaka-striking din yung isa sa dokumentong ito that this was signed by the same lawyer, Attorney Maria Gracia Dioco. Same po. Same ang nag-notarize po ng dokumentong ito. So, ibig sabihin, sa mga ating mga nanonood po, klaro na po na tama, dalawang company ito, dalawang kumpanya, pero run by the same person. I'd like to ask Secretary Roque, did you do your due diligence in finding out that Miss Cassandra Ong used to be, or in this case, siyang magiging lessor ng Whirlwind Company at hindi ng Lucky South, which you claimed trying to distance yourself from that company na palang allergic kayo sa Lucky South 99. Did you do your diligence? And I think, Mr. Chair, no, with all your services to this nation, Secretary Roque, paniwala po ako na isa ho kayo sa magaling na abogado. At hanggang ngayon po, mataas po respeto ko ho sa inyo. Pero basic lang po, no? Rudimentary. I think this is being taught in law school. You have to do your due diligence before accepting any client. Have you at least asked Miss Cassandra Ong, were you in any way connected with Whirlwind Company or Lucky Strike 99? Hindi niyo ho yun tinanong.
Mr. Chair, ang kaso po kung saan kami kinuha ay ejectment case. So ang tanging dapat na tignan kong kontrata ay yung upa, yung kontrata ng pag-uupa sa panig po ng Cruz family at sa panig po ng Whirlwind. So I cannot go beyond that po kasi ang kasuhan lang ejectment between the Cruz and Whirlwind. So hindi naman po at issue sa ejectment case yung lease contract between Whirlwind and Lucky South. So wala pong dahilan ako mag-inquire doon sa client, doon sa kontrata between Whirlwind and Lucky South dahil hindi naman po sila yung nagdidimandahan. And I would like to underscore nga po na nung pumasok kami, meron ng writ of execution. So nakabinbin na po yung kasong yun.
Yeah, but
So
Mr.
sa
Chair,
due diligence po, ejectment case sa mga abogado po, napakasimple po niyang ejectment case na yan. It's even covered by rules of summary procedure. At kung ikaw hahawak ng kaso, titignan mo yung kontrata. Meron bang breach of contract sa contract of lease? So, hindi po complicated itong kasong ito. Kaya lang, ang aking naging assessment na deprive ng due process ang Whirlwind kasi nga nag-aawayan yung mga Cruz siblings. At nagpanggap itong tatay, si Roberto, na siya pala siya yung registered owner, naniniwala naman itong Whirlwind, hindi naman pala siyang registered owner. At nung dinimanda sila sa lower court, siya pa ang kumuha ng abogado at hindi sinabi sa Whirlwind na dinimanda sila ng mga anak niya. Yan po yun, no? So as far as due diligence is concerned, in an ejectment case, as a lawyer, kung ano po yung material na kontrata, is the lease contract only between the lessor and the lessee, between the Cruz family and Whirlwind Corporation po. Dahil yun lang po ang hinawakan kong kaso.
yeah, pero I think this is material, no? The lease is in fact the very fundamental and very material to any eviction cases, no? I think no, I do not, Mr. Chair, Secretary, no, I do not question your knowledge on sa pagdating po sa batas. Sabi ko nga po, mataas po ang respeto ko sa inyo. Ang hindi ko lang maintindihan, perhaps I shared this with our common tao, the average-minded person listening to us and watching this committee hearing. But, nagkaganon. If we follow your logic, Mr. Chair, and your justification, that you are exclusively limiting your services to this particular case that you have filed involving eviction cases or eviction case, why did you have to go to PAGCORP's meeting and then make some follow-ups? And then it apparently, based on these records, same Cassandra Ong, who at the time when you approached PAGCOR and, with the meeting, yung license nila, ay naging connect din sa sa Whirlwind Company, which you yourself said na yun lang doon yun ko maintindihan. Sinasabi niyo ngayon sa committee ito that you are limited, you find it not material anymore to ask Whirlwind Company or Lucky South 99 with in terms of their contract with Lucky South 99, and yet kasi limited ka lang doon sa eviction, and yet you went overboard. Yun po hindi ko maintindihan. Which in this case, Mr. Chair, masyado na mahaba yung pagtatanong ko. I'm sure many of our colleagues here would ask similar questions kasi doon ho nagkakaroon ng problema. Ganito lang po, Mr. Chair, and I would close this with my manifestation. Mr. Chair, Mr. Chair,
Yes,
for
Congressman
my
Adjong.
manifestation.
You want me to interject something
Yes.
before you finish your interpellation?
Maybe,
Baka
maybe
in,
after my manifestation, baka ano,
Hindi.
baka maybe after my
in
manifestation.
relation to sa issue mo eh. Tapos na ng questioning. Sige, okay, go ahead.
My manifestation. Kanina po, inamin naman po ni Secretary Roque na sa practice of law, and this was the question I asked him in the previous committee hearing, that hindi naman kailangan talaga ng magkaroon ng formality that you have to sign with your kasi pag law yung definition po ng Supreme Court yung practice of law, and I agree with him now. He agrees with how the Congresswoman Beatrix Luistro. Now I'd like to, Mr. Chair, and this is not in any way to contest or to even engage in legal discussion with Secretary Roque. Who am I to contest his legal opinion on the matter? But this is already a decided case, pertains to the lawyer-client relationship, no? Very much connected with the sinasabi ng Supreme Court definition nila with the practice of law. Kasi nga po yung participation po ni Secretary Roque dito sa usaping ito, yung legal services na binigay niya according to him sa Wheelwheel Company. And in Burby versus Magulta, sinabi po, a lawyer-client relationship was established from the very first moment complainant asked respondent for legal advices regarding the former's business. To constitute professional employment, it is not essential that the client employed the attorney professionally on any previous occasion. It is not necessary that any retainer be paid, promised, or charged. Neither it is material. Tingnan, Mr. Chair. And with this new development that we learned na dalawang entities, similar persons running these companies, whatever explanation that we have from Secretary Roque, the bottom line, Mr. Chair, is it benefited a lot Lucky South 99, which is far from the legal services he was offered and accepted by him between himself, Mr. Chair, and Whirlwind Company. Thank you, Mr. Chair, for that opportunity.
Chair,
Marami pong salamat,
Mr.
Secretary
Chair,
Roque,
if you please,
sa inyong response.
Mr. Chair,
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, could I briefly just cite also a case?
Yes. You have 2 minutes. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I do not dispute that case po kasi sinasabi lang noon, hindi kinakailangan magbayad ng attorney's fee, hindi kinakailangan magpirmahan. Pero
Mr. Chair, that
itong
was not
kasi
a
pong
question.
ito,
That was a manifestation.
Wait.
Mr. Chairman, point of order.
Point of order, Mr. Chair. Point of order,
Chairman,
Mr. Chair.
point of
Opo,
order.
Wala mo nang... This chair is speaking. Okay,
Wait.
what's the pleasure of Congressman Adjong?
That was a manifestation, Mr. Chair. It wasn't a question.
So, no...
So with all due respect po to Secretary Roque, whom I still respect, I do not need any response from him.
Okay, thank you so much.
Mr. Chair?